I forgot. Playing Mega Man X, it's such a D-pad game because it's Super Nintendo. It's not really a game you can play with an analog stick very well.
Yeah.
Because just like your directions are so straightforward, left, right, up, down. It's really just left, right, or you don't use up or down for anything. Now that I think about it, but like you can't. It like for you to do the dash, you have to hit forward twice. And I guess I could just maybe get used to doing the analog, but it's like I'm just so accustomed to the D-pad. It's like playing Super Mario World with an analog stick. Like that would be fucking bonkers to comprehend.
I think you could probably get really good at it though. Really zippy.
But there's no the analog isn't changing the synapse of anything.
I still think you can get pretty snippy.
I mean, it would just be as snippy as I am now.
I think you could get more snippy.
I don't think an analog would help me get more snippy.
I think you could.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I do.
Not for Mega Man.
Definitely for Mario.
Not Super Mario.
Yeah.
An analog?
Yeah.
You really think that would make a difference?
Yeah, I really do. I think it would take a man to get used to, but I really do. Because he's slipping and sliding. So I just think it would be more fluid. You could just get him moving around.
I don't know.
I mean, it's on the emulator.
I don't know. I'm thinking about putting on going Super Mario on my Switch and doing analog, and see if it would do anything for me. Is it doing anything for you?
I think it would make you more slippy. Especially, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking him because he's always sliding in the first base. Yeah,
but I think you're also kind of situating the idea of a physics engine in a Super Nintendo game that really is more responsive to a direct. It's not as complex as that.
No, but I'm thinking about the user interface within it. I think
that's up, down, left, right.
Yeah, I think that you would be more slippy, like being able to get back and forth faster. I think it would be cool.
We'll try.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.
Hello, everyone.
What's up?
Welcome back to TJ's Mixtape. I'm Tommy.
Bringing it down.
That's Jacob.
Into the new style of this.
This is a movie review podcast. We talk about movies.
And I talk over Tommy sometimes.
Who's in them. Some themes of it, and then we give it a rating. The rating is arbitrary, but it's a nice little end point to the whole thing. We are continuing with our, what'd you call it?
Anachronistic. Movie game. Actor game. Connection. Jennifer Aniston to Dev Patel. Really quick. Before we begin. Sorry. You all right?
Yeah. I'm just couldn't say it. I forget about the game, to be honest.
I'm trying to remember. And I'd like us to do that, in the opening and then do the end, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, last week we ended it with Jennifer Aniston, most popular for Friends, to connect to Dev Patel, probably most popular for Slumdog Millionaire. I found two movie connection. Or two actor connection, I'd say. So Jennifer Aniston is in Horrible Bosses with Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis is in movie 43, as well as Hugh Jackman is in movie 43. Hugh Jackman is in Chappie with Dev Patel. Oh, excuse me. Movie 43 is that weird hidden gem of connecting actors.
Yeah. And there you go. There it is on Connect the Stars.
Yeah. And then we'll have a new one at the end of the episode if I remember.
But yes.
We do movie reviews and little stupid games.
We're continuing with our out of time block.
Anachronism.
With 2001's Kate and Leopold. I forgot what the movie was for a split second.
I mean, it's an easy thing to forget.
It really is. For those of you that don't know, a 19th century gentleman is thrust in 2001's New York City, where he finds an unlikely companionship in a businesswoman. It's very Hallmark.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
For what it was?
I mean there was nothing inherently super bad with it. It was charming. It's charming. It's a charming movie.
It's pretty dated.
Oh, very dated. Yeah, most romantic comedies end up being.
Yeah,
very
they don't. They're
dated.
really a staple of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what about you? I mean, this is my first time ever watching it. You had seen it before.
I had fonder memories of it being pretty cute, and it just didn't do it for me that much anymore. And it's just like, we always talk about eat the carrot and go with it. There's just a lot of
Especially this one.
plot holes, and just also a lot of the history is wrong.
Oh, yeah. Was the Duke of Albany a real person? I meant to look that up.
Like the elevator thing?
Yeah.
No, it was a couple different people, and he was not on the list.
Okay.
Because it wasn't just like someone went, bam, an elevator. It was like...
Well, I didn't think someone was like, ha, elevator, woo, look at me, ha, I'm a genius, wow, wait.
It's a,
Physics.
like Da Vinci had an idea for an elevator, and, like it kind of went down the line.
Okay.
And then there's even someone, the inventor of the elevator brake, which is very important to stop it. So it's like, it's this whole line. It wasn't just like that. Like, it's like some guy's like, metal box that teleports you to the roof. Then you fly off,
That
like,
their uncle is like, your will dreams of a cage that moves up and down.
Yeah, it's not. It was definitely.
I'm gonna be an inventor, Dad, Uncle.
Even then, there's just certain bits that just timeline didn't really make sense.
I mean, just there's holes.
Yeah.
There's just literal holes.
So well, it's just kind of seems like a lot of not a full amount of homework was done for the period bit.
Okay, I agree with that, and I think that the job of a dramaturg has become a lot more relevant in the last maybe like decade, 15 years than it had been in the past, because I'm so used to movies like this where I'm like, I feel like I have to be fact checking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fact checking
to be like, what is exactly happening? Because like I recently, we watched the new Goosebumps season 2, and I then watched season 1, and I'm constantly like, they're playing this like soundtrack of 1993, and I'm like, did this really come out in 1993? And I'm checking, I'm like, yeah, it did. And like every single time I check something, it's like, is that really 1993? I'm like, it is 1993 because they probably actually hired someone to do this job. So someone like me is like, good, you got 1993.
Yeah, well, it's that whole thing that you've said before too. The audience in a weird way is getting, now that everything's streaming and you can rewatch it over and over again.
Well, the internet age is what
the internet age is just easier to do that. In 2001, I just feel like it was like, yeah, they're not going to give a shit.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
No, exactly.
They didn't give a shit at the time. But
it's
it's
like, it's just the movie.
But it's just every now and then he would say something, and I was just in the back of my head, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. Because it's like, what,
76?
Something like that.
I remember 1876 because it was literally, I was like, oh, that's a year after they signed the Revolution, or the bill, what is it called? Declaration of Independence.
That's 1776.
Yeah, it's 100 years after.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was the next year. I was like,
no, it's 100 years after.
Okay, yeah. So it's 1876. But just sit like, like the American flag in the background of the banquet scene had 50 stars. There were not 50 states in 1876. Just sit like that. You're just like,
well, and then you were asking about his did they have ties? Were they using ties in 1876?
well, yeah, but we figured that one out.
Well, but he maybe, I don't know.
That looked like a combination of Stewart's clothes and
yeah, but I don't know.
Anyways, wait.
Yeah.
Stop. Who made this movie? We're jumping ahead.
Well,
was
Thomas Dallum.
It was. Don't do that.
I was going to use your middle name, but I forgot it. I forgot your middle name. Anywho, well, before we get into that, it came out. Did you already say December 25th?
No.
Okay. It came out on Christmas Day 2001, which I was like, this is a cute Christmas date movie. Maybe,
Well, like you do, like in between, you wake up, go see a movie, have dinner. This is a good one.
It had two premieres, an LA premiere on the 11th, December 11th, and a New York premiere on December 16th. Your movies for 2001?
49.
I had 52, 55.
I had 3 more than last time.
You just remembered or just counting this time?
Yeah.
Or just saw, actually?
I just saw it, actually clicked. I'm like, oh yeah, I do know that movie.
Well, this was directed by James Mangold. Well, written it. He is one of the writers.
Who I really like.
Apparently, so do I.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Hey, James. Fan.
He's also produced a lot of his own stuff, but he directed Identity. He directed Walk the Line. He directed The Wolverine and Logan. And the newest Indiana Jones movie.
And 3:10 to Yuma.
Yeah.
I like that movie
I haven't seen that movie. I just did the ones that not really I'd seen. And he's on board to direct the Star Wars.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
What do you mean? You've talked
Dawn
about
of the Jedi?
Yeah, that's the one that's like 25,000. It's like the history of the Jedi. They're not. It's like them breaking out of the Skywalker stuff. I swear we talked about this.
I'm very uninterested in Star Wars in my later years.
I mean, that's kind of fair. Skeleton Crew was cute.
In my end years.
They just ruined it. It's been ruined. No, it's not ruined. It's just too much. It's everywhere now. It's not.
It's just not for me anymore.
It's not special anymore.
It's just it's not for me anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
You know, it's not for. It's not.
Star Wars is for kids.
Yeah, like it's just.
Thank you, Freddie Prinze Jr.
It's skeleton.
I should memorize that.
Skeleton Crew is cute, but
yeah,
it's just not.
I'm still gonna watch anything that has anything to do with Ahsoka and the Mando.
Yeah. Book of Boba Fett.
I don't think they're gonna continue that. Well, okay, so yeah, directed by James Mangold, who we apparently have watched a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't know it.
And then co-writer Steven Rogers, not to be confused as Captain America.
No, it's Captain America.
It's Captain America, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was around at this time.
In World War II?
No, isn't this like, when did he get thawed out?
Cap?
Yeah. Oh, no, but with the time travel, he was around this whole time.
Just frozen in time. Oh.
Nope.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You remember that, did you ever see that Dorkly bit of him going through the times and like seeing like tragic events and him like
not stopping it?
Yeah, him just like, and like, it's like Peggy like, oh, you want to go to New York? And like, it's like around 9/11. She's like, you want to go to New York? And he's like, wait, what day is it? No, let's stay home. Let's just stay home.
But yeah, this Roger is known for P.S. I Love You.
Yes.
And I, Tanya were the only things that stood out to me.
I mean, Hope Floats stood out to me in Stepmom, early 90s.
Thing.
Yeah. And then Love the Coopers.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that.
That I brought up. Yeah, because it was, that's a Christmas movie with John Goodman and Diane Keaton and Amanda Seyfried and Nudd Helms and Olivia Munn and just a bunch of fucking people. And I remember I watched it randomly one year, which is weird for me to just be like, hey, I'm going to watch this Christmas movie.
I just want to look something up real quick. Continue.
I didn't put it. I was kind of. I kind of want to start looking into producers as well. I didn't write it down because I'm still haven't committed to the bit, but now I'm feeling like I need to bring it up. The producer of this is married to James Mangold. Actually, I think that's why I was like, oh, they probably produced it more or less together. Mm-hmm. But she was put as the actual producer because I don't know. I feel like producers. Like when Steven Spielberg produces something, you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely a Steven Spielberg film with like this thumbprint of somebody else directing. So producers, I think maybe I brought it up before. Maybe we should focus on producers too. Cool story, Jacob. Who's in this movie? I almost called you Jacob.
So our female lead is the one and only Meg Ryan, who plays Kate.
We've never done a Meg Ryan movie.
Mm-mm. Sleepless in Seattle.
Yes.
But Anastasia, because
I
always forget that she's in that.
Yeah, she's the voice of Anastasia. Not the singing voice, but the voice.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty good crew for
really.
a non-Disney animated film.
Yeah, John Cusack.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. What's his name that plays Bartok? I think it's the Simpsons guy.
Oh, yeah. Hank Azaria.
Yeah, I think it's him.
I put down When Harry Met Sally, The Doors.
Inner Space.
I figured you would bring that up, so I didn't write it down.
Oh, that's what WHMS is.
When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bring it up. I was like, I don't remember what that acronym means. Right. She was the it girl, the girl next door for a very long time.
Yeah, like 80s and 90s, in and out. Like there was, yeah.
She was I don't know why we're saying like you don't know who Meg Ryan is. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're young. She's
City
around,
of Angels with Nicolas Cage.
She's like another Julia Roberts. A lot of love rom-com stuff, and then a couple little dramas thrown here and there, and but
never really plays the goofy girl. Now that I think about it,
kind of.
In what?
I just mean like she's kind of goofy. She's kind of like Manic Pixie Dream before Manic Pixie Dream was.
When I say goofy, I mean like eccentric, female lead.
Okay. She likes cats.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, she's like very much like she's the businesswoman.
Yeah.
She's got a head on her shoulders.
Oh, this is a stupid question, but is she in Top Gun? I thought I saw that on her list, and I just never actually have sat through Top Gun. Because I don't know. I just never have, which might be weird.
I'm drawing a huge blank on Top Gun.
I mean,
all I'm seeing is the beach volleyball scene in my head.
Wait, is that in both of the movies?
Wait, yeah.
Is it really?
You didn't? Oh, yeah. I've never seen Maverick.
Well, I know it's in Maverick because that was like people were...
Oh, yeah, no. It was in the first one. Yeah.
But it's like now the bodies are a little bit different. Now it's way more...
Oh, dude, they are cut in the 80s one.
Oh, I don't know. They're really fucking big in the... Well, they're big. They're not even cut. They're like... When did Top Gun come out? Yep, she's in Top Gun.
She is?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that since I was literally a kid.
Hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Okay, so our male lead.
His baby faced at the time, Hugh Daddy Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Who plays Leopold for our Kate and Leopold.
Duke
Leopold. I wanted to know what it is. I actually meant to look it up.
All 7 of his names.
Yeah.
That's a really funny just joke about the time period. But yeah, Hugh Jackman, if you're not familiar with him, he is Wolverine, which I found it interesting that James Mangold has worked with him. I'm wondering if maybe Hugh Jackman got James Mangold into the Wolverine series somehow, But also Hugh Jackman, The Prestige, Swordfish, Australia. He is Australian. The plethora of movies.
Van Helsing. Prisoners, which I really actually want to do.
Oh, yes, I need to watch that. I want to watch that.
I want to review that.
Are you looking up his name still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
He's.
And then I got just like quick 2 buys and then some shout outs. Liev Schreiber, who's also in X-Men Origins with Hugh Jackman. Liev Schreiber probably he grew to rise in fame probably from Scream as Cotton. And then I also have him for Movie 43 as well, because Hugh Jackman's also in Movie 43, and I use Movie 33 as my connection. Because Movie 43 is everywhere.
Oh, did we do something with him?
Liev Schreiber?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't see it.
Because I'm just writing. I just have his show, Ray Donovan.
I mean, that's a show that's like his biggest thing.
Yeah, but I remember we talked about that. Why did we talk about it? We talked about that for a minute.
I mean, I've never watched it, so I don't even know why. Maybe you brought it up. I feel like I got something in my eye. Sorry, guys. Just like poking my eye.
Yeah, he came up for some reason, but I'm not. Nothing in last season, nothing in this season.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was like, I didn't, yeah.
I mean, it could have been someone else and Ray Donovan, I guess.
Yeah. And then I got Breckin Meyer, who kind of went.
Oh, and Goon.
He's in Goon? Liev Schreiber?
Yeah, he's in Goon. He's like the gruff hockey player that doesn't play by the rules.
What's his name? That's the lead in Goon? Shawn Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Apparently, I saw one of those stupid clickbait headlines. Side tangent. He said that he now gets recognized more for Goon than Stifler from American Pie.
Yeah, I mean,
which I think is kind of interesting.
I like that because Goon is just I like him better as a character because
Yeah.
Stifler's just a dick.
Yeah.
Goon is like really good at fighting Andy Dwyer.
Yeah.
He's a funny character in that.
He's a sweetheart.
Goon. Yeah, it's a hockey movie.
Oh, yeah, so Breckenmeyer plays brother to Meg Ryan's Kate. You'd recognize him from Road Trip, Rat Race. He's also a love interest for one of the characters in Clueless, which I forgot about. He's the skater kid with the long hair.
Little stoner for Brittany Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's part of the Seth Green crew, just doing voices on Robot Chicken, which also Liev Schreiber and Hugh Jackman have done voices on Robot Chicken.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's one of those shows they actually get quite a few people on there.
It's like they're not like A-list stars, but it's like they're making fun of so much stuff that,
Yeah.
they get some fucking crazy people in there.
But it's just like...
It's also like maybe an evening of like recording a voice for like a 5-minute bit, not even like a 30-second bit.
Well, and it's a good joke too. Like if you were to do an X-Men skit and have like a Wolverine action figure, actually to get Hugh Jackman to do it is really funny.
Yeah.
It's like meta and...
Yeah, exactly.
Another call out to Natasha Lyonne, who plays Kate's assistant Darcy. Natasha, I don't know, more recently, Orange is the New Black. She has her own show called Poker Face.
We did a movie with her in it.
Oh, but I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and she has a newer show called Poker Face.
It's like a time loop show, isn't it?
It's a murder mystery show.
No.
It's like a whodunit.
Russian Doll is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Russian. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Russian Dolls. That was cool.
And then I got Bradley Whitford, who's Kate's boss. He's Jake Peralta's dad in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's kind of
Get Out.
He's kind of he's the dad in Get Out.
Yeah.
He's kind of a face a little bit everywhere. Especially in like the 80s and 90s. Oh, he's in an episode of the X-Files.
Isn't he the bad guy in Billy Madison?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I was like, I just had this image of him.
Yes,
yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he's the bad guy in Billy Madison.
And
he was in West Wing forever.
I never watched West Wing.
Yeah,
so.
I forgot about that.
And then a baby Christian Skal, who voice of Luis on Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, she was. And the one that made me come back into the room, I stepped out for a minute until I heard her voice. Viola Davis.
Viola Davis, yep.
Plays a beat cop on the street, and I just heard her voice, and I was like, "Is that really fucking thing?" Yeah, it is.
It's really cool to like see these people that are like really big and like something that we love now, and kind of see where they started.
Yeah,
like the beginning of their career, or like something just small. It's like, oh my god.
Well, and it's like she's the voice of Amanda Waller now in everything, and it's just funny to see her young and be like, yeah, she just always talked like that.
Yeah.
she always talked like that. And I love her. I mean, and Viola Davis is too. Credit where credit's due. How to Get Away with Murder was a big stepping point for her career, I feel like, and a lot of just because it was in everyone's household.
Yeah.
And then Suicide Squad. She is Amanda Waller.
Yes. All right. Review time. Reviews. I think I might start doing my own, like writing down my own little review to do before we do the reviews.
Okay.
I don't know.
You kind of talk about that off and on sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you never.
It's because I got to actually like write something instead of just making a note. But on IMDb, this has got a 6.4. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 52% tomato meter and a 62% popcorn meter. And I think that's fair. I almost wanted to say generous.
Yeah. 6.4. Yeah. Wait, where'd it go? There it is. On Metacritic, this has a 44, which comes to mixed or average with 7 plus, 15 mixed, and 5 negative. For the plus, I put down at LA Weekly. Come on, wake up. Here you go. With a 70 at LA Weekly by Ella Taylor, this winning confection from a director not known for the lightness of his material or his touch shows a fine understanding of what the screenwriters of the 1940s instinctively grasped. That good screwball is about dialogue and chemistry.
That's a very generous. But I like that review because that actually, I didn't really think about the screwball. I mean, we did talk about the slapstick nature of it, but this is very much a screwball comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm so just kind of like meh, is that it's like it succeeds at what it's doing, but it's just not memorable.
And it's like that though too. I mean, rewatching it, I didn't really feel a lot of chemistry with them.
Fair.
You know, I just didn't really feel.
The most chemistry I saw was the dinner scene when they were just being honest. But that's just like when actors are just, just an honest scene,
Well, I thought the most honest scene was when Lee, what's his name, Charlie, or what was his name? Lee's character. Stewart. When Stewart is having his little moment of like convincing her that she needs to go back. Like, if you love him, this is what you got to do at the banquet. Like in that whole moment, that was like, that was one of the most real moments to me personally.
That's an interesting moment. And I'm kind of like now piecing together is that Stewart did the rom-com rush to the girl and make love, but not for himself. It was him it should have been Hugh Jackman, Leopold rushing and be like, come back with me and we'll live a life together. But it's Lee being like, no, like you need to go to him. Here's the time travel shit. Jump off the bridge. Trust me, I'm not crazy.
Even though I just jumped off a bridge.
Ooh. Sorry. It's tickling me. I don't know what's happening.
For Mixed with a 50 at Variety by Lael Lowenstein, a time travel romantic comedy whose best elements, Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman, overcome distracting plot holes, loose threads, and assorted contrivities to make for a mostly charming and derivating tale.
Yeah, that's real. I like that one. That's the most shared vivid view of me.
I made a note to look at the Rolling Stone one more time. Oh yeah, Peter Travers at Rolling Stone, who gave it a 60, said director and co-writer James Mangold supplying comfort food for bruised romantics. That was funny.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then the negative with a 38 at the Charlotte Observer by Lawrence Topman has the sex appeal of a Roadrunner cartoon. 1/10 the laughs and equal plausibility.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, this is funny. Another negative at Washington Post by Rita Kempley. It just isn't a Meg Ryan movie unless she's got mail. M-A-L-E. Kind of the joke I was making the other night.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a charming movie. Hugh Jackman's charming. I felt like Hugh Jackman was very charming. Meg Ryan was fine. She did her shtick. Yeah, she didn't do anything more or less than what I've ever really seen her do. We were talking about this, but there's the plot. I think one of the biggest things is the like weird plot wholeness of this, because like there's the alternate ending where it does reveal a little bit more the true nature. So I missed 100% at the beginning of the movie or wherever in the film that Stewart is the great-great-grandson of Hugh Jackman. I don't know if he says that at the beginning.
I had totally missed that.
Yeah, so did I. Like when he's having his like explanation to.
I think it was just too much information at one time.
Yeah, but apparently on Wikipedia, it says that.
Yeah, and I was like, when?
Yeah, when is that? Which then inherently does make Kate, his ex-girlfriend of 4 years, his great-great-grandmother,
Yeah.
which they wanted to try to cut as much of that out to avoid this incestuous thing.
Cool.
I'm my own grandpa.
Good on you. I mean, we are talking about 125 years worth of
lineage separation. And also, I don't know. It was fate.
This is before 23andMe. I don't know. I mean, it's a weird thing to write in.
Yeah.
But then it's also, to meet with this, I don't know, maybe I'm alone on this, it's weirder to write it out.
Yeah.
It's like, commit. Like, whatever. Fuck it. It's 2001. Make your movie. Like, there's wilder shit out there right now. Like,
yeah.
It's a no man's land of movies. They just do whatever they want.
But, I mean, there's, like, that whole, like, that's confusing to, like, read about. And it's like, did I miss that? What the fuck does that mean? And then my biggest, like, qualm of a plot hole is how Stewart falls down the elevator shaft, goes to the hospital, and then they commit him for being crazy.
Well, he's on suicide watch.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Why'd they put him on the antipsychotics?
Because they were worried he was having a breakdown. Okay,
but that...
No.
Again, another plot hole of just the wrong medication to give someone.
Yes, but someone comes up, you're a doctor, you're a psychiatrist at a hospital. This man was just admitted for falling injuries, and then he starts to tell you that he jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge because that's how you time travel.
Also,
remember,
don't fucking tell people that yet.
That's his fault.
Yeah.
He should have kept that to really, like, I was drunk and I slipped, or I don't know, make something up. But, you know, like we were talking about with the nurse that just gets all weepy-eyed at the dog rainbow story, and you're like, you shouldn't be working in a psychiatric ward.
They are at Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. Well, but then, like, my biggest qualm with all of that is that he gets admitted, and Kate and Leopold are just living their happy-ass life.
Yeah, like in Charlie, too. No one goes to visit him.
Nobody goes to visit him. No one's checking in on him.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even get any sense of, like, the doctor's, like, getting a hold of, like, we're going to keep him for a little bit to make sure he's... And they're like, oh, we'll watch, you know. It's just, like, he's just shoved into the loony bin.
Well, then even then, it's like you could give the carrot and the excuse that, well, there's the dog, but Leopold's there, and because of the story, Leopold and Stewart have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Great. But then why didn't Kate or Charlie go, oh, by the way, how's Stewart doing?
Yeah, not once are they just like, oh, I haven't heard from Stewart for a minute.
Is he okay? Like, what's
he's
going
been
on
in the
with
hospital
him?
for a while.
Because he fell down a fucking elevator shaft.
Yeah. Like,
so, and the fact that he's alive, we should probably check on him. I mean, my biggest thing about this movie, and it's like kind of just ties into why we were really trying to do The Man at a Time but avoid time travel. I don't like time travel movies. They inherently don't make a lot of sense, only because there are so many different versions of time travel, especially in the movies business, that they really are hard to wrap your head around, and that's even when they're done really well. Yeah. And this one wasn't really thought out to me.
Like, and I feel like for a time travel thing, you really have to Christopher Nolan it and, like, try to explain every little bitty gritty of it in whatever theoretical physics science way that you believe.
Or you inception it and you just go, this machine makes you go in brains.
Sure.
That's
well, yeah, but we're talking about time travel.
No, I know, but what I'm saying, or with also, but it's the same thing with time travel. I think you have to do that. You have to really explain it and make your pseudoscience about it, or you just kind of have to let it go.
Yeah. You have to. This one just be like, it happened. We're not gonna worry too much about a lot of things.
Anything, not a lot, any of it. We're just gonna not worry about it. Just gonna spew off some dates and
we're not going to worry about the fact if he goes back in time, is he just going to be a copy of himself, or like his consciousness going to fall into his old self, or is it going to be another him wandering around?
That's the Stuart's like, you might run into me, but you'll still be you repeating the day.
Stuart didn't say that.
Yeah, he did.
No, he just said you might be reliving some of the same moments.
Yeah, meaning he's going back into his consciousness is now going back into his body, but Stuart's there. Hate time travel.
Oh, yeah, say that's what he said. You might run into me, but yeah.
He didn't have to Marty McFly it. He didn't have to avoid him until the point. And that's another thing. Back to the Future's out now. We know stuff. Why did they just do that? Be like, hey, and that's all you had to say was, hey, lay low until this time when you leave the party, and then go back into the party. Because then it wouldn't work for the big romantic. Actually, you could have made that work for the big romantic gesture. They both get there at the same time. They get to the party at the same time.
Yeah.
Could have made that work.
I wonder if studios were like, it's too confusing for there to be two of them. It's just clean up the ending. I can see a studio doing that.
That's when you give them a DVD of Back to the Future and go, it's really not that hard. Why? Copy.
And that's kind of like the inherent like hard thing with this movie is the man at a time, and also just like how quickly he just kind of like he obviously has his like, half couple hours breakdown of it all, like meltdown.
Oh, how well he accepts.
Just adjusts. Yeah.
Future. Yeah, I mean, like you and I were talking about that, and it's just.
But I mean, that's like when you start really thinking about the nitty gritty of that stuff for this film, it ruins what this movie is actually trying to do, and that's be this juxtaposition of this gentleman from this like very nice gentleman of the 19th century, late 1800s, bachelor who himself has given up on the pursuit of love.
This movie just isn't designed to be reviewed.
And then Meg Ryan's character, who is a woman of the 21st century, who herself has also given up on the pursuit of love. And then, by chance, these two things that shouldn't belong together find love. And that's really, because that's what romantic comedies at heart are about.
Well, yeah, and what the thing with romantic comedies, you're writing a gimmick.
Yes.
You want the boy meets girl, especially in 2001, you want that. Boy meets girl, fall in love, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But what is a fun way for us to do it?
What if he's from the past?
Yeah. How to lose a guy in 10 days.
Failure to launch.
Failure to launch.
I like Failure to Launch.
I like both of those movies. Because also Kate Hudson in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she was.
Just going batshit,
I love that. I mean, just the premise of that one is so funny. If like, because they're both trying to get the other one to
quit. Yeah,
well, they don't know.
But they each made a bet on. It's like but that's the thing is you make a gimmick. You have to think of a fun hook.
Yeah.
And then just build. Hitch. Yeah. I like Hitch.
I like Hitch too.
The Breakup. That's another good one.
Yeah, that's.
There's like a few of them.
Good Luck, Chuck.
I haven't watched that in a while, but I'm assuming it's problematic.
Wedding Crashers.
I guess, yeah, that is a rom.
It is. It's a raunchy rom-com.
It's a raunchy rom-com.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because they both fall in love. Both of them fall in love with someone at the end.
Old school. It's weird is that all of these movies of the 2000s, whether they're raunchy or not,
the idea, like, the core idea is finding love.
Yeah.
That's weird to think about. Especially Wedding Crashers.
Right.
I don't give a. That movie is still funny as fuck. Is it problematic? Oh yeah, but there are some scenes in that are really. I love you. And that's the thing with that movie. It's one of those ones you could really tell that it feels like there are a lot of, pretty much everyone involved was having fun.
Yeah.
With the lunacy that it was. Anyways, we're not talking about that. Well, like, and that's the thing is like this is back to Kate Leopold. This is a time travel rom-com. Just don't focus on the time travel that much and you're good. And you're like, that's
kind of
not
true because
good for a time travel rom-com.
It's just not good for a movie, really. But I mean,
what the center plot mechanism, just kind of ignore it and then you'll be fine.
But that's not even the only problem. Like I said, we have this whole thing with Stewart that's just like, meh. And even like the brothers' whole like shtick is just kind of like,
well, he's the comic relief that you get in every round. You know what I mean? You can't really give him I guess
he's more of the sounding board to see like the way that Hugh Jackman or the way that Kate or the way that Leopold the way that the Duke of Albany is like views the idea of like dating and like charming and courting a woman type
Yeah,
thing,
and I also think he's a mechanism to explain the actor thing. Otherwise, I think that Kate would have been very off put, because again, going into the psychosis thing, if she just started to believe that in the very beginning that he was this man that thought he was from the 19th century, well, Stuart is roommates with a crazy person, so I'm not going to find him romantically intriguing. But then you have the actor brother come in and start talking about the craft, and he's committed, and then it creates a shadow of doubt of.
And it also kind of like, I guess since he's a duke, he enjoys the finer things of life, like theater and the opera and speaking French.
French.
That's another thing. It's just like how his character just accepted by people. No, and he just kind of is like still lives as if he's from the 8th, 19th century, and it's just
no. That's what it is actually. What this movie is kind of a pretty like a romance novel adapted to the big screen. It really is, because a lot of those. The riding of the horse gentleman, from this century of courting and chivalry and all that, this is kind of, now pretty dated look at things. I'm sure there are people out there that still like this, but I think.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like very much, the Fabio, like I was saying.
People in their 50s and 60s.
The Fabio sitting on the horse with the open and the hair. And, it's kind of just an adaptation of that. And I don't know where I was going with that, but I mean, I just got to say it. Meg Ryan just really reminded me of David Bowie from Zoolander. They had the same hair. Man. And those movies came out around the same time.
They have a very similar build.
Yeah, very slim, and they're both wearing suits, like with kind of pantsuits. I just couldn't not see David Bowie from Zoolander.
And a lot of the stuff that the blouses that Meg Ryan was wearing were very flowy and kind of piratey. Yeah,
think of David Bowie in 2000s. Like, he had the hair. That's what he looked like. That's what he wore. I just couldn't get it out of my head. I just like this idea of David Bowie seeing Kate and Leopold and being like, that's my look.
Walk off.
Yeah. The judge. But yeah, that makes me laugh. I just couldn't once I saw. I just hope I hope that now at least one person out there is like, God damn it. That's all they see now.
Well, I mean, we chose this movie as part of our anachronistic stuff because of the man out of time and the antics, of how do they fit in type thing, And it's not really that.
No, and
it is, but
it kind of became too, because it was, Blast from the Past does have the rom-com element, but it is not immediately presented to you. Like, this is presented to you as this is going to be a rom-com. Blast from the Past does have the beginning part of like the family, and but this was more just straight out of the gate. Let's go rom-com.
What did we start off with?
The Phantom. No. I'm totally blanking right now. Demolition Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we did the Demolition Man, which is the action, and Blast from the Past.
Which big part of Demolition Man is the jokes of them from the past, now in the future.
Which was also Blast from the Past.
Yeah. And this, I guess there is a little bit of that, like he stands up every time she gets to leave the table. Mm-hmm. Like, there's jokes on, like, how he acts from the 19th century and...
Well, even then, that's kind of a weird... Now I'm thinking about it, because it's like, yes, he is this 19th century gentleman and yada, yada, yada. That is still a thing today.
Yeah.
In like... England. Well, no, but even here, like, you have, like, an old, like, kind of... like, old school Southern family, that's a lot of the time standing up, taking off your hat. They have these old kind of rules about... I'm totally blanking on the...
Manners?
Term. Thank you. They have rules about, what is considered, manners and being respectful to each other. Yeah. So it's like, for them to look at him like a fucking alien, you're like, you've never heard of someone standing up from the table when someone leaves, especially a woman. Like, you've never heard of that?
We've all heard of that, but we've never really actually seen it in practice.
Yeah, but if you saw it, you just go, oh, you're one of those.
Well, I think at first it would be kind of like, what are you doing while you're standing up? And it's like, I
do like what you...
He's like, she's like, that's enough. I get it. I'm a fucking woman.
I'm a lady.
I get it. Well, and that's also like there is that whole underlying theme in here of her wanting to be that strong, independent woman, not needing, there's that slim bit of feminism in here that is used as a tool more than an actual like theme, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you mean when he's kind of drunk and he shows up at the dinner with JJ and then makes...
I mean, not only that, just like her standing up. I mean, she stands up for herself pretty well, like in other moments and whatnot.
Well, I just was thinking that moment too, because she was navigating that gross, I mean, that was a really... Yeah. His whole monologue about that, the end...
Oh yeah, that's kind of like another like we kind of I feel like we miss the core conflict sometimes. We get stuck on like the gimmicks, and like the conflict of the movie is not just that he's a man at a time and they're falling out of love. Is what spurs them apart is, well, she brings him on to do the butter commercial, and her boss is trying to seduce her, and that's a whole little gimmick, and
to get the promotion.
He walks off the set because he finds out that the butter that he's trying to promote is disgusting. And she's like, sometimes you just got to do things you don't like.
Well, she says the most real thing ever. Yeah. It's diet. It's supposed to be disgusting. Like, think of 2001 diet food.
100%.
Oh, they're gnarly.
Yeah.
Like, now is the time for diet, sugar-free, healthy alternatives.
Yeah.
Like, before,
how much is actually healthy? Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, you talk about the 90s and 2000s for diet shit, it was fucking gnarly.
This doesn't taste good. Yeah, because it doesn't have anything fun in it.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
It's like, what is this? Flour. You're eating straight flour.
It could be used as paper mache starch at this point.
Yeah. And like, and then he has that moment of like, you sound like my uncle. It's like, well, maybe your uncle's fucking right about something.
Yeah, I've really found myself. It was funny, and I don't just know that's because it's like even him, like he has this old-timey romanticized idea of how he sees the world.
Well, it's very privileged too.
Yeah, but it's also just this like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if you ever really looked at 1876. Things were pretty rough.
Yeah.
For a lot of people and a lot of things. Deodorant wasn't invented yet. He probably
didn't smell very good.
General teeth, he had really nice teeth. General teeth hygiene wasn't really, so like even with like that, it's like this romantic, like, oh, he's this gentleman from the 19th century. Yep, and he smells like dog shit and has terrible breath.
Well, I mean, for his status and money, maybe not.
Okay, but he was in now the common age. I did show him brushing and shaving his teeth. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
He did take care of his hygiene. All right. I really wish I could smell movies.
What do you think Star Wars would smell like?
Well, it depends. I can kind of imagine what like a xenomorph hive smells like.
Like a cave,
like a wet cave, but then it would also I really want them to explain how they make the stuff. I'm assuming it's like. Yeah, I'm assuming it's like paper wasps. I think that they're taking organic material and then using it to make...
I would assume.
Yeah.
They're just taking all of their goo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why have they not touched base on it? Because you can make that a really horrifying, gross scene. We're not talking about that. Sorry. That was shocking. If you weren't expecting that was gross. I'm sorry. I just...
Your ADD brain went,
woo! That intrusive thought won. Sure did. Why did I go there? Oh, smelling the movie. Okay.
Yeah. I really think that, but I mean, that's a testament, I think, to this movie in general as well. I mean, we do have very much squirrel brains in general, but this movie just, I don't know. If you enjoy it, good for you.
That's what I'm saying. It's not really, that's a huge...
That sounded patronizing, and I didn't mean it to be.
It did, but I get what you mean. Like, because also we're not here to tell what to like and what not to like. This is really just what we thought of the movie, and this is inherently kind of like not a great thing to say because it just kind of goes against. I don't know. It just becomes counterintuitive almost. But this isn't really a movie to review.
Well, I mean, you say that, but it's like every movie. Is
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't really make sense, but it's like
But it's not that bad. It's like when you say like a movie that isn't made to be reviewed, or is like The Room. That's not a reviewable movie.
But didn't we do that?
We didn't do an actual review. We talked about this. I said I wanted us to watch it and talk about it, not do a review. And then you came in with review notes. And you were like, I don't know why we did a review of this. And I told you I didn't want to do a review. I just wanted you to watch it and talk about it because it's an experience.
You're criticizing me for something that happened like 4 years ago, and I think you wanted to have a reaction, and it's not going to have a reaction.
Well, because you just talked about us doing a review. Anyway. But, or like, what's another really bad movie? Like Trolls 2.
Sure. That was out of the bag.
Well, I'm trying to think of like the worst movies, like the fate of, whatever. Like Trolls 2, which like that movie is like regarded as one of the worst films ever made. It's not reviewable because it's just not good. This movie has
Trolls 2, the Justin Timberlake thing?
No.
Oh, that's why I was like, sure. Why are you ripping apart Trolls?
No, it was like an 80s.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah. With
I thought you were just like
they're
really
eating her. They're eating.
I know you're. Okay.
They're gonna eat me. Oh my god.
Yeah, I thought you were shitting on the Anna Kendrick.
No.
Animated thing. I was like, why? Okay, that's kind of sure. It's the worst fucking.
No, Troll 2, not really reviewable because it's just it's wild that it got made.
I mean, I guess you gotta. Well, okay. I guess you can kind of review it, but you just have to go into the whole thing of what is this, and just within the lens of not Citizen Kane, but in the lens of
romantic comedy.
Romantic comedy. Where does it land? And
it's successful, but it's not groundbreaking. It's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same piece of vanilla cake that you get.
Well, and that's even the thing that gets at it is. You have to come up with a interesting. That's what it is. You have to come up with an interesting enough gimmick because, like, even like let's we brought up some rom-coms from the past. The breakup. The breakup is really the gimmick is they break up, but they're still stuck living together because they don't want the apartment. But then they really top it off with the ending.
That's like an anti-rom-com though, isn't it? Because they don't end up back together.
No, but it opens it up to either. That's why the ending is good because
they're bumping into each other.
They separate. They finally give up the apartment, just go on with their lives. Then they run into each other again. Then they have another meet cute, and then it opens up to maybe now they can figure it out, but it doesn't just shove it down your throat that now they're going to be together. Love is going to prevail. It might, and that's what these rom-coms I think need to have is a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
To not really just and that's why that movie is successful. In my opinion, is the ending. So it's like with this one, the only thing is it has this gimmick. It's kind of an interesting gimmick of man at a time.
Time travel.
Girl at a time.
Girl out of time and girl very much in time.
No, because she goes out of time.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I think that's kind of...
But the thing is, they didn't focus enough on the gimmick. I think that's its biggest fault.
Also, him falling out of time made all the elevators stop working. It's like they tried to do a fun thing with the time travel gimmick.
Yeah.
And it just kind of was like weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's I can't tell if they tried too hard or if they didn't try hard enough.
That's what I think that they tried a lot in the wrong moments and like didn't do enough homework. You know what I mean? They didn't really like this is a great. They started off like this is a great idea, and then it.
Yeah, it really does feel like they're like, okay, I want to make a romantic comedy. What's a gimmick that hasn't been done? Like, what is the thing? Okay, well, independent woman, man who's charming. Well, what if he's from this period and she's a modern woman? Or they were like, what's a modern woman? What's the complete opposite of a modern woman? A classic man. Oh, like 19th century man. How do we get them together? Time travel. How does that time travel happen? Well, what is the ramifications of a man that's time traveling? What did he do? Well, what if he was the inventor of elevators? That sounds great. Okay, so he's the inventor of elevators. What would happen if you traveled in time? Would that ruin elevators? I guess elevators don't work anymore. Okay, well, how does he get there? Well, we got to have the man that finds him. Well, what if he's romantically, an ex to the woman that he's going to fall in love with? So that's their meet cute, is because the ex-lover who's also, we're going to put him in the hospital later. We're going to put him in the hospital later. Are you having fun with that?
You done?
I almost went through the entire movie.
Yeah, and I was going to really stop you.
Well, that's kind of how I feel like it all fell apart in that sense,
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like they went, and then,
yeah,
and they just kind of lost. It kind of feels like they lost steam and just kind of were like, fuck it.
And they kept writing things, and they had to be like, okay, well, how do I justify that?
Yeah,
and going back and writing.
And it's just, and again, don't know that. That's just what it kind of feels like. But
I mean, also, it was successful in a way. What was the box office on it? I think we kind of skipped that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really talk about it unless it actually comes up. I mean, it did. Where is it? Budget of roughly $48 million and gross $76.
Okay, so
technically a failure.
Yeah, I mean, it made its money back plus a little bit more. So just
but that's in the business. That's not.
No.
That
for a rom-com, they're just kind of like, okay, well, move on to the next one. No one's getting fired for that.
No, but I mean, but also rom-coms a lot of the time are studios pump them out to make a lot of money real quick schemes.
Well, yeah, or just make enough money to move on to the next one until
the thing they actually want to do.
It's like they make so many of them, and until they find that one that boom pops off.
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey. Ha!
Just put him in it, and we're good. Yeah, I mean, then that's just really. It just feels like the time travel thing just was a little bit too loosey goosey, which is fine, I guess. Except that's your big draw in gimmick. And then I was just thinking about too. What you said, he's like a modern woman, and then what's the exact opposite? 19th century gentleman. It's very possible that a 19th century, well, I guess you kind of fix it with the character, like his development and how they kind of explain him to you as the audience. But it's very possible that this 19th century gentleman would have found Meg Ryan utterly and completely repulsive.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like everything about her. Because even that's, like... It's that
you
thing.
are not a lady.
It's that thing that we're talking about from Blast from the Past.
Well, yeah, some of the shit that he says to her is kind of like, it's a little dated.
Or even then, get him back into 1876 and watch the social hierarchy and how things work, and he's gonna have some things to say about certain groups of people that will also be so dated you won't even know what the fuck he's talking about, and then he'll explain it. And he goes, "That's what you call them," So. She's in for and okay, so let's go into it.
The actor brother could have been a very different story.
Yeah. Well, it's even the ending. The ending just has the whole Fiona turning into an ogre thing that I saw people having an issue with.
Yeah, her going back in time to be with him. It's just that's also she's giving up all of her stuff to be with him.
Well, yeah, and then I found this article called 5 Reasons Why the End of Kate and Leopold is in fact depressing on discover.hubpages.com.
I think I would like this.
And I'm trying to find the author. Nate Sean. But number one, the NYPD thinks Kate committed suicide and the ramifications of that. And I was like, that's a really good point.
Oh, yeah, because she jumped off the bridge.
Which we kind of talked about for a second, but didn't really think about it. And because not only that, she jumped off the bridge, but her brother and her ex-boyfriend are standing there.
Yeah, being like, no, let her do it. Let her do it.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
This is what we were talking about at the end of Cocoon. What the fuck happens after?
Yeah. Local fisherman kidnaps retirees lost at sea. 50.
Someone's got some shit to answer for.
Some fucking shit to explain, bro.
Well, keep going.
Number 2 was Gretchen gets fired.
But she's not around anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Gretchen. Wait, Gretchen was her assistant.
Oh, this one I kind of said almost everyone at the banquet got the shaft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a random woman shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? We were just dancing with him all night.
Well, actually, it says that and then he's like, I guess there's even that whole thing with the company. That's gonna be. I guess it's a big company. They'll just move on. But even then,
these are the most depressing things.
Well, no, but it goes into like there's actual paragraphs kind
well,
of
yeah,
explaining.
but even so, just the headline doesn't. I feel I'm sure I could come up with more depressing things.
Where's Charlie gonna live? That's true.
I brought that up.
That's true.
He's not going to afford that apartment by
No.
himself. Actor salary in New York. Who's a failed actor, it sounds like.
But I think that the number one really is a very good point to bring up because that leads us kind of into the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, because even I don't know.
She gives up her entire life in the 21st. She's going to have a nightmare time in the 19th century.
Yeah, well, but it's not only that too, because it's like also when you put the pen down, what happens? Charlie still lost his sister. Mm-hmm. Granted, she may have not actually died, but she's not there anymore. And depending on how this, I don't know, like
maybe him and Stuart live together.
Still not his sister. It's just the guy that used to fuck his grandmother, who's also his sister. Like, it's just weird. And that's why I'm always like, I just as like, a wannabe writer would always avoid time travel because it's just really easy to start picking a fuck part.
I think the thing about time travel is unless you like the Christopher Nolan, if you are really thinking about it and your idea is like, I want to make a time travel movie, that's different than just being like,
throw time travel.
What if we just throw time travel in there? Because think about like the successful time travel movies. Bill and Ted, goofy as fuck, successful for what it is. They wanted to make a goofy thing about two guys traveling through time.
Was not gonna think Bill and Ted was gonna be the number one on your list of successfully done time travel movies.
Back to the Future.
Okay.
I just feel like
I really am curious how many you're gonna pull off the top of your head.
I would say Interstellar. I mean, it's very heady with it, but I think it's successful.
But time travel, I mean, it deals with the concept of relativity, but like
he travels through time in that.
He travels through dimensions in that.
That's how you travel through time.
Yeah, I know, but I was thinking like this linear time. You go here and this happens, and then your grandkids disappear from the newspaper. I'm not talking about like.
But that's time travel.
Okay, in my defense, you went Bill and Ted, Back to the Future, and then Interstellar way over here. Like, just for the record, that's what you did. That was your decision.
Because I'm saying successful time travel movies. Are you looking up successful time
I'm
travel
going to
movies?
because I'm like, there's got to be something in the middle of those three movies. Okay.
I mean, what about The Time Machine?
That's terrible. I like that movie, but it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, but it does its job as a time travel movie as well.
See, but there's another thing. That's actually the
time traveler's wife. That's weird.
Mm-hmm. Lake House.
Is that time travel?
In the same way. Okay, in the same way that I was kind of like Interstellar is to me. Lake House is too. It's two times. Coexisting, and the mailbox is how they communicate.
I would say that's time travel. Yeah.
So I think
that's a fun time travel gimmick, actually.
Yeah. See, and that's Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, right?
Yes. Is that them again?
I believe so.
They should have ended up together.
Okay. This one I actually really kind of wish we had done. Just the top ones are.
And then we need to wrap it up.
Yeah. Back to the Future, Bill and Ted, Looper.
Thank you.
Groundhog Day, Looper, Interstellar. At least there were two in between. 12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, we've done that. Well, Time Loop. Yeah, I guess Time Loop is technically time travel. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah. Okay. So there's quite a few, but
also fucking Bill and I brought up making fun of me for saying Bill and Ted.
I just didn't think you were gonna start off with Bill and Ted. Like if you had gone Interstellar, okay, yeah, that's a really good. And then you went. I mean, technically Bill and Ted, it would have just eased it a little bit more for being like Bill and Ted, Back to the Future, the saddest, most depressing time travel movie ever. He watches his daughter die. When did that come out?
2015.
Okay, that's
Almost
been
10
enough
years
time.
ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's been sorry if I it's a bummer. It's a great movie, but I watched it once and I can't get myself to watch it again.
It's a long movie too.
Yeah, and it's just heavy. It's really heavy. But yeah,
this is an unsuccessful time travel movie.
Yeah,
but a successful romantic comedy.
yes. That's it. That's the just to put it to end. It's a unsuccessful time travel movie because also just inherently time travel is a complicated thing to write well. Mm-hmm. You have to go one of two ways, like you were just saying, Interstellar or Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Because even the way Groundhog's Day is not really time travel, it's time loop, but that was on there.
I would put that in a realm of time travel.
Yeah, but it's specifically time loop. But that's also goofy, not as goofy as Bill and Ted, but it's still a dark kind of comedy.
And
about
the
it.
goofiness is in the nature of it to be goofy, you know.
Well, actually, yeah, that's a great way of putting it. So you have like Back to the Future, Bill and Ted, Groundhog Day, right? And then on the other hand, just to pull 3 out there, Interstellar, 12 Monkeys, Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of the you have to go one. You don't have to, but I feel like you usually go one of two directions with time travel, and if you kind of don't commit, then it just doesn't pan out very well.
If the container is to be about time travel, then I feel like that works. It just like in Kate Leopold, it felt like it was just like romantic comedy.
We need a gimmick.
Yeah,
let's do time travel.
Yeah,
but as a romantic comedy works because of this. Because also just when we were talking about
works, but not like it's not
well
groundbreaking.
Yeah, but rom-com too is very sticky.
Yeah,
like Hitch. It's just it's funny event after funny date after funny date. Oh no, and then we have conflict. What's the conflict? And then boom, now they're making babies. So it's just kind of like. And from those moments, the rom-com moments of those moments to moments were funny. Like Hugh Jackman interacting with this new big, bright, shiny world and seeing landmarks that were finally finished, that were just being constructed. And, it had its charms with that.
Yeah.
So on the rom-com scale, what do you want to give it?
I was thinking like a 2.5 just in general.
2.5, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But again, the rating does not mean burn it. It just means
we're not giving it a 1. You know, have we ever given anything a 1?
Yes.
Yeah, we have. I don't know what it was.
I don't remember what it was either. Nothing in recent.
I think a 2 is the lowest we've gotten in recent. Anywho. Well, yeah, this ended up being about. We went on a fucking tangent of time travel. We went on a handful of tangents this episode. Mm-hmm. So.
I feel bad about mine. I still apologize for that.
The alien one, the xenomorph.
It's gross. It's unnecessary.
I went animated with it too. So, you want to do Connect the Stars?
Oh yeah,
and then we'll wrap it all up.
No, we already did that one. Okay, third time's the charm.
Okay.
Gary Oldman and Eddie Murphy.
Ooh. Gary Oldman to Eddie Murphy. There's going to be some 80s movies in here, I bet. And I'm not going to do it right here, right now.
No, you're not.
I'm trying really hard not to. Wrap us up, Tommy. Come on.
So let me just write down the Murphy thing just to remember.
You don't need that.
Yes, I do. So yes, that was episode 225, a review of Kate and Leopold, which we gave a 2.5 out of 5. Yeah. Please follow and like us on Instagram and Facebook. On there, you'll find all of our posts. On there, you'll find our link tree. From there, you can find everywhere we put our stuff on. So whether it be Spotify, Apple, YouTube, so on and so forth. Tell your friends. And then join us. We're going to wrap up this block next week with a review of
Idiocracy.
We're going to do Idiocracy, which I think that we'll see. Didn't find it funny then. I don't know if I'll find it funny now.
I think you're going to find it depressing now.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. What year did that come out?
2003.
Okay.
No.
Well, anyways, doesn't matter. We'll let you know then. So yeah, join us next week for a review of Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Or the mockumentary of the way America is now.
He was predicting the future.
Predicting the future. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Bye, y'all.
Get out of time.